And here we are, Gotham Talk Radio with Brad Gersman and David Schwartz here on a Sunday in New York. Brad, the weather's been very, very hot lately, but we've had a string of nice weather, and it's a pleasure to be with you all here today. Finally done with that horrible radio station that we were on, and we're going to go to where the listeners are, which is in the new media, the internet, the social media, the Facebook. What's this thing called, Hurley, that we're on? We're on Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk Radio, Web Talk Radio.
GothamTalkRadio.net.
Yeah, look, we have the attraction because we have the product, we have the website, and we have people coming and listening, emailing us, contacting us, and so the listenership is there, and we're very fortunate that people love the product. So it's GothamTalkRadio.net. This is Gotham Talk Radio with Brad Gersman and David Schwartz, and this is a political talk radio show, and apparently, Dave, people really love it. We're just sick and tired of dealing with the Apple and the limitations that are associated with dealing with them, and all the mishaps that always take place. And especially with this, it allows our format to be able to be more flexible.
It was awful.
We need another 10 minutes. We got 3, 2, 1. This enough. The real world now doesn't operate that way with media.
It's a whole new world out there, and look, we were sort of mesmerized with the whole old school radio. Also, we were taking in. Oh, we got a 50,000 watt station. We got this. We got that. I sent you the ratings last night. The ratings for that station are just awful, and I don't really understand why they're so awful. Because we were attracted to the station. We thought we would fit in nicely with Curtis Sliwa and Dennis Miller and Bob Bennett and all those people.
Well, those guys loved us. Dennis Miller and Curtis Sliwa.
They loved us.
They were just really all over us. Very, very, very enthusiastic about our, coming on the team. But the thing was, the reality is radio is changing so much. I know everybody knows that, but every part of media now, you get your music. Where do you get your music now? You get your music online.
On the iPod.
You don't get it from records or 8-track tapes. You don't get it from CDs. You get it how? You get it. You don't even have a product anymore. It's just something online, and that's the way this product is going to be delivered.
Absolutely, and we'll still get back. We're going to get through as many out. The key is the show is all about us. It's all about Gotham Talk Radio.
Mostly
it's all about
me.
Brad and David.
Right, Brad.
And whatever.
And Hurley. And Hurley. We couldn't have this without Hurley.
But the bottom line is, it's all about this show, and this show will be marketed into many, many outlets.
Absolutely.
We'll even go back to the old media outlet at some point. We're in negotiations right now. There's a bunch of stations that want us, and we'll be back into that genre soon also. It's unfortunate that the Apple screwed us the way they did. And
but I don't want anyone to think that the Apple dismissed us in any way.
No. We walked away from there, but it was through their negligence why we walked away.
They wanted us to continue. We decided we could not continue under certain circumstances.
Right. No, it was awful. And the bottom line is, this is great. All our listeners were listening anyway through this medium. So you're going to be seeing this on Gotham Talk Radio. We'll pop this up, probably before Sunday, but our usual Sunday listening audience will still see us on Sunday. So what's new, Brad? What's going on?
I'm surprised you're not screaming your head off, because you are very focused on New York City, nonsensical issues and I don't mean that you focus on them, but when you see the politicians focusing on them, you go absolutely berserk. And here's one. This guy, the Brooklyn Borough President, Marty Markowitz. He is absolutely awful. I'm tired of him. I'm sick of him. At least I'm going to speak for myself here. There's been some personal meetings. He doesn't like when you use his BlackBerry. You know what? He's not the president of the United States. And that's the irony of it all. Because if you read the papers, if you know what's going on in New York City, this guy goes out of town, okay, and he takes his wife. And first of all, his travel, as far as I'm concerned, is borderline as to whether or not it's really necessary that he go for free out of this country. But on top of it, he insists on taking his wife. That's fine. I'm good with that. Take your wife. You got to come out of your own pocket for that. This isn't a freebie for everyone when you're elected. But he had the gall to associate himself, his wife, and saying that there was a comparison between her and the First Lady of the United States, in that if the First Lady gets a free trip, then so should his wife. Don't tell me you agree with this, Dave.
That's Marty Markowitz for you. I mean, Marty's, he's been a Brooklyn figure for a long time. I grew up in Brooklyn. I remember when Marty Markowitz was a senator. He was a senator for a very long time.
You remember when he was like 8 or 9 years old, don't you?
He's been a cartoon character for Brooklyn for a long time. He does all the concerts. He's always blabbing his mouth. He's always doing a lot of shtick, and he's good at doing shtick, and he's a nice cheerleader for Brooklyn. But you know what? His time is come and gone. He became too pompous with the meetings, and if you go into Brooklyn Borough Hall, first of all, the borough presidents have no power whatsoever. The listeners should know that Peter Vallone took away the power of the borough presidents a long time ago. They really have no power. They have no standing. I mean, if you got rid of the borough presidents tomorrow, no one would know the difference. They don't do anything. So the bottom line is, Marty Markowitz acts as if he's the president. I think he thinks he's the president of Brooklyn. Well, he's the Brooklyn borough president, right? So, and when you go in that conference, a beautiful building. We've been in that building many times, and the doors open, and there's Marty walking out. It's very majestic. It's very majestic, and his assistants tell you beforehand, if Marty sees you with any electronic device, the meeting is automatically over. This guy became so.
Remember the doors he came out from?
His head became so big, Brad.
Giant doors open up, and all of a sudden, first of all, they prep you. I mean, Dave, you and I have seen everybody, okay?
Right.
Including the presidents, ex-presidents, governors, ex-governors, down the line, okay? Congress, United States Senate. I've never seen this kind. I'm serious. It was simpler to meet Barack Obama than it was him. They had to prep us. They had to make sure that we were everything but frisked before walking into that room.
Right. You had to close your jacket. It was very formal. You went over all the rules.
What to say, what not to say, and then these two giant doors open, boom, and out comes a 4'7" man,
a bunch of hot air. That's what comes out.
That's what really struck me.
A big balloon of hot air walks out, and you know what? He yeses you. He sits there. He frowns. And then the meeting's over. He doesn't do anything. He's a do nothing, know nothing guy. A zero.
And do you hear this, Dave? On top of it, he's asking the city council to step up and to create legislation that permits the wife. You know what? Something I think I may be wrong here. Please tell me if I'm wrong. And Hurley, jump in if you like. There may be some more important things that we have to focus on them. Whether or not his wife should be going traveling out of the country with him on a nonsensical trip, a trip that's meaningless anyway.
But you know what the big problem is here, and this is the problem that no one's really focusing in on, and you may not know it either, Brad. The reason why,
if it didn't happen in this last 2 years, I don't know.
The reason why the wife needs to be paid for by whoever's paying, the campaign or whatever it is because Marty Markowitz is cheap. He's a cheap man. He is known to be cheap in Brooklyn. He doesn't leave tips in restaurants.
Really?
He thinks he could eat.
Hurley just almost gave birth. Did you hear that noise? It was like a caveman grunt.
Is known to be one of the cheapest people alive. Seriously, he's a very cheap guy. Well, he doesn't want to pay for anything.
That's the beauty of Gotham Talk Radio. I mean, it's not just the stuff.
Oh, we missed Kevin. Where's the chirping bird?
Right. All right.
By the way, we love Kevin in the old show. He's a good guy.
Our engineer.
We hope we could be back with him one day somewhere. You never know. But he was a great guy, and no reflection on him. That's
absolutely.
For sure.
He's a wonderful guy. But this really got me. You know what else gets me along with? I hate to just keep pounding on him, but I have to, because that's part of like his personal life and stuff like that. But the other part that gets me is when he's against Walmart coming into the city. Everybody who's listening knows that what's going on is New York City forever has not wanted Walmart. Walmart has been historically bad to the workers, bad to the neighborhoods, bad to the businesses around it get destroyed. And in New York, as we all know, New York City especially is made up of a conglomerate of independent shops, and that's what makes it a unique place to be and a unique place to live. Well, Marty Markowitz was against it for all the right reasons for having Walmart come in, especially since they were focusing on Brooklyn. Brooklyn. But then all of a sudden, he's got a Walmart hat on. He's throwing a party. He's announcing Walmart. They're the greatest. Well, what happened? What did they gave a donation?
So they flew him to Arkansas.
Right.
He got to spend the weekend in Arkansas,
and they brought his wife probably. But they all of a sudden they give a donation. So somebody says, well, Walmart's good to the city, and Marty Markowitz recognized it. What about all the downside, all the things that he discussed, and all the disdain he had for this company? Did a $4 million donation change the facts that he knew?
It's what everyone hates about politicians. It's what everyone hates about politics. Nobody believes in the system anymore because of incidents like this. You've got, a lot of these guys, Marty Markowitz, just bought and paid for because Walmart, who knows what Walmart did? They made the donation, whatever they did, all of a sudden, he's anti-Brooklyn. Marty Markowitz is anti-Brooklyn because Brooklyn is made up of the small mom and pop shops. Brooklyn, small business makes up Brooklyn. Walmart has no place in Brooklyn whatsoever. They just have no place in Brooklyn. Walmart is a poison. It's a poison to small business. And it's a poison to the economic vitality of a community, especially the small towns, the different neighborhoods that make up Brooklyn. Brooklyn's a big town, 2.4 million people, but it's made up of small towns. Sheepshead Bay, Carroll Gardens, Park Slope, Flatbush.
Great food in Carroll Gardens.
You go Cobble Hill, Brooklyn Heights.
Brooklyn Heights, by the way, the Queen, incredible Italian restaurant.
Greenpoint, Williamsburg. You go down
Williamsburg, Peter Luger,
right.
Yeah, I'm just going to name the restaurants. You name the towns. I'll try to name the restaurants. Can you imagine
these great areas with small towns?
Hurley's getting as excited as a pedophile at a Boy Scout convention. This is incredible.
You name the town.
No, you know what? It's the only restaurants I really do know, Tim, in Brooklyn. I don't know.
Sunset Park. How about Sunset Park?
Sunset Park.
Good rice and beans.
Yeah, and Sunset Park.
Really good rice and beans.
The law office of David Schwartz, criminal defense attorney.
Right. That's where my law office was, and I still keep an office there.
Yeah, but I love that. The way, on your old website.
Schwartz Law Firm.
The Schwartz Law Firm. But it had this bridge, and then it had a sunset going into the bridge.
Right, it was made up.
I used to love it. It's like
it was a good logo,
town,
right?
You actually embraced the neighborhood.
I did.
It wasn't like you were avoiding. You could have just said Brooklyn Lawyer, but you even made it more local than that. You made it Sunset Park. I remember this. It was beautiful.
I can't believe you remember this. I'm really proud of you.
A little bridge with the sun going down.
Not a little bridge. There were two themes. The guy who made up my logo, and it wasn't that Hurley did not make up that logo, but this guy in California
right
made it up.
Look at he's seething.
It was pre-Hurley, but Hurley would have even done a nicer job with it. But I told the guy,
but you had a vision. When you opened your firm, you had this vision.
I wanted two things.
How this was
going to be a real neighborhood lawyer. So I wanted the Brooklyn theme. So I wanted the Brooklyn Bridge, and I wanted the sunset coming over the bridge, Sunset Park. Right. That's where I was. So
it was great. So you asked me about Sunset Park. Right. When I think of Sunset Park, I think of the Schwartz Law Firm.
No, that's great.
Criminal defense attorney extraordinaire.
It was a nice practice. It was definitely time to leave the practice and move on to bigger and better things. But the bottom line is that was the theme of that logo.
Now you have no idea what you were talking about.
I have such ADD right now. I'm really tired.
No, but you were talking about how big Brooklyn is, how many different neighborhoods are within.
Right. And my point was, thank you, Brad.
And you were naming places, and I was naming food eateries.
My point was, Walmart plays no role in the borough of Brooklyn, the great borough of Brooklyn. It is such a wonderful place, made up of so many ethnic culture and food for people from all over the world.
Walmart would be great. They would bring in low-priced goods. Is that bad? Is that so bad?
There's no more melting pot than Brooklyn. Yeah, they're going to bring in cheap crap from China. We could actually curse on this, right? We could curse on. We're not. They bring on shitty goods from China. Yeah. Real pieces of shit. No, I'm not saying the goods are pieces of shit because they're made really poorly. People are being paid 10 cents an hour over there.
Well, the other thing is, what does it do to the neighborhood industry? Yeah. What does it do to all the stores, all the different businesses that exist? We all know historically that Walmart destroys these neighborhoods, these businesses, the integrity, the opportunity to just walk to your local grocery, walk to your shoemaker, walk to your, what have you, and now it would be changing. So anyway, we're coming, I think, up to our first break.
Yes,
here.
we're coming up to a break. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So we will be back with Gotham Talk Radio with Brad Gersman and David Schwartz right after these messages.